Hi, are you overrun with vegetables from your garden? Don't know what to do with them? I've got a solution. How about some fresh garden quiche? First, wash and peel your zucchini and then cut it in paper thin pieces. Chop them up fine, about 3 pounds. And then take a whole onion, chop it up pretty small. And then your tomatoes, core them and pretty much juice them. And get about, I don't know, maybe a pound of tomatoes. Chop them up fine. On medium-high, put some olive oil in a pan. Okay, saute your onions and your zucchini until they're nice and translucent and soft to go in your quiches. I like to add about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Makes it sweet. I like to make my own pie crust. I use 1 cup of flour per pie or per quiche. So that was 2 cups. And I use a half a teaspoon for each pie crust. So there's a teaspoon. Mix that together. And in the other pan, you're going to put a cup of ice water and a 1/4 cup of either olive or canola oil. So mix these 2 things separately first and then mix them together. And this is all you have to use to make a pie crust. Pretty easy. Okay, so you mix it up with a whisk or a spoon, and then I always end up with my hands in it, kneading it, making sure it's all good and together. Don't forget to stir your zucchini and your onions. And then about the last 10 or 15 minutes, add your tomatoes. And while this is cooking, we're going to go back to our pie crust. Be sure and grease your pie pans or cooking oil or something just so they come off really easy. Okay, the last few minutes of cooking the vegetables, I like to spice it up a little. I use a tablespoon of minced garlic. Sprinkle some parsley to your taste, some sweet basil, about a half a teaspoon of pepper, and don't forget salt. Not a lot, just a little sprinkle. Isn't that colorful? Okay, divide your pie crust in half, like so. It should be real soft. Press it into the pie pan. And work your crust up the sides. Be sure and drain your vegetables before you put them inside the pie crust, because otherwise you will have a soggy quiche. Okay, now divide your mixed vegetables evenly among your pies. Okay, and put about a half a cup of sharp cheddar on top of the vegetables for each pie. I use about 4 eggs per pie, and then after that, blend in 1 cup of whole milk. Now would be a really good time to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Now let's get to blending. If you use deep dish pie shells like I do, you might want to use 6 eggs per pie. Okay, if you're able to pull your pie crust over the top, you might get a little fancy and do this to your quiche, just for looks. And put your pies in a 400 degree preheated oven for 35 minutes. Okay, they've been in the oven for 35 minutes at 400. So remember, when your garden is overflowing, you can make quiche for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Delicious.